You know, it doesn't do me well to stop for a period of time to essentially go on hiatus before coming back to this because the time I'm recording this is definitely not, well, the first part of this, the timestamps will exist for a reason because I've completely forgotten what I need to do specifically here. I even forgot, I should have wrote things down and I didn't, so let me just do a quick check. Obviously, fishing level 10. I need to look at everything else, though, because I think I have yet to make certain upgrades to my tools, which I need to go outside and check. It's a rainy day, so all I'm going to be doing is fishing today, all things considered, but hey, and if you're new to the series, yes, I am using one mod. It is I even forgot what the mod is called, but you can see these on the top right-hand corner. This is the only mod I'm using, so that's all I can really say to myself. Aren't we fishing in the river, though? I think we're fishing the river, but just to be sure. And then, yes, I remember my farm layout being like this. I don't remember anything else, though. So, at some point, we do need to get the copper axe upgrade tomorrow on Spring 19. That I remember. There was something else that I wasn't doing as well on, though, and I can't remember. And also, I need to check a thing really quickly, because I didn't even do a mic check. But if you're watching this video, then everything must have gone fine. I completely forgot as I accidentally take the bait out. And I think I definitely need more bait, but I don't think it's worth... Well, if I fish in the river close by, I just don't have a furnace next to me. I'm trying to decide what I had to do, and I don't remember everything. Obviously, I could do some save manipulation and see what I'm doing with my farm exactly, but that's no fun, so I'm not going to do that. That being said... Yeah, I think I was trying to get money to get enough to get enough quality sprinklers, which is not going to happen. Which means I'm going to be... What am I trying to say here? I think you can see my cursor, right? I don't remember this series at all. But I'm going to be watering everything myself. And I definitely need more bait. And I should have bought more bait. And I didn't buy more bait. So that just makes me sad. That being said, I should still take these out. And I don't think I might as well bring the hoe with me if I'm going to do this. Just in case there's artifacts on the way. I think that's less efficient for me, but I'm just deciding to do this. So... in the interest of playing with the furnace, we're going to... I should still be going this... No, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go to Willie's to try and grab a thing. I will be fishing in the river until Willie's opens. I don't even remember that much. Actually, I can check here, I believe. So, yeah, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And all we're doing today is fishing. But as I timestamp out of this, whatever future Jordan decides to timestamp, yeah, we're going to be fishing today, and we're trying to get enough money to do everything we can during Spring of 1. So, yeah, we're not going to grab any herrings. I think the only thing about this mod in particular... I don't need to grab that. I should have actually done this. I don't know why I didn't do that, but... hey, we got baked fish for our trouble. But... let me think about what I'm doing here. Yeah, because I'm trying to unlock buses, but obviously it keeps raining... and at some point, I need to go down through the mines anyway. Basically, I'm trying to get to the bottom of the mines by the end of Spring 1. I should have been fishing. I don't know why I did this to myself. Now I have to run back. There's an artifact spot there, but let's fish first. And then we will visit Willie's when he opens. So, yeah, get to the bottom of the mine, unlock the buses, which is kind of a mini objective. But really, it's being able to go into the Skull Cavern throughout the summer. And upgrading all my tools. But again, if we're looking at the end goal of one of the end goals of this, it's to definitely get to the Skull Cavern ASAP before even summer. If in the meanwhile of that, though, it's upgrading our tools during the rest of spring here. As I go grab this treasure chest really quickly. And the sub-objective to get to that part is to reach the bottom of the mine. So... we'll try our best, but yes. And then, yeah, I'm going to be wasting time running back to where I fish in the river. But we need to do that because I need to be able to smelt ore, if possible. Because if I don't, I might not be able to upgrade certain things. I might not even have enough copper for tomorrow. That's how bad it is right now. I'm pretty sure I don't. If I had enough money, theoretically speaking, I think I could buy copper ore and just smelt it all. And then do a little, go swerve off the guide for a moment, even though it's at this point, the guide is mainly 2 or 3 steps to do each day, which, fair enough, because you don't know how much RNG is going to change your, essentially routing, but how your days are going to play out. Like, I'm getting, I think, nearly 50% of my days at this point, as I get ready to go to Willie's, have been rainy days. But again, the money is important. But we also need to reach the bottom of the mine at some point, so... Yeah, it would be nice. That, and I'm also going to forget how to do some cancels here and there, but since Willie's is not quite open yet, let's do some of this so we can sell everything we have on us. We might as well. We don't need to eat any of the fish. In fact, we have baked fish, and at this point, yeah, I'm just going to do this. Oh, that's, I'm going crazy. If we can get sea jelly, that would be great, but until he gets to the counter, it doesn't officially... Oh, maybe it's probably open now, but let's make this cast worth something. And if it's worth a lot, that would be great. It doesn't seem like it is, but I'd like to hope. I think this is herring or sardine. Can't remember. That being said, there is an online kind of mini-game site to help practice to identify fish immediately, but I'm doing this here. So, and then I went over fish smoker meta, but was it fish smoker? I can't remember. Either way, we need a bunch of bait. That's all we're here for, and we might as well sell these. We sell everything, except for the deluxe bait, but we sell enough, and I use probably about 60 to 70 bait per day. Let's just get enough for 3 days, just in case something really strange happens. And this should be more than enough. So, without further ado, let us head back to the river. Down by the riverside, where I forgot the lyrics to the song, but don't hurt me, robots, I'm just trying to fill time, there's nothing else. I am really lucky today. It's a shame I'm not spending a good hour or two of in-game time doing that. I might as well pick this up. They're on the way. And then I didn't pick them up. They're just down in the river. But hey, any foraging experience, any of my powers combined. Nope, nothing. Might as well. If it's on the way, it's not too bad. That being said, this, and then pause. I keep forgetting to do that. I should be doing that. But anyway, yeah, otherwise, I mean, you could just skip to the end of the video. There's not really much else. Did I even leave the furnace here? I didn't even bring the furnace with me. Well, then I just wasted a bunch of time. I do have a chest with me at least, but yeah, mistakes have been made. But in the meanwhile, yes, I want to get back to Stardew Valley here. I might do another recording after this, and I didn't actually do as much homework as I thought. But that's because I'm also playing, you know, obviously Slay the Spire, and obviously World of Horror. Well, obviously it would be World of Horror, but not as obvious would be Slay the Spire, because Slay the Spire 2 is coming out. Yes, this is kind of the off-topic AMA part of the video, even though this is not a stream, so no one can really ask me any questions, but I can ask myself questions. Questions like, Jordan, are you really going to be playing Princess Maker 2 Regeneration? And yes, those, in case you only came for the Stardew Valley videos, the past 5 sentences were basically the status of this channel, on top of trying to do more Stardew stuff. But this is really the only Stardew series I do, aside from, you know, giving you a look at my main file, which hasn't really changed. If you go back to the previous episode before this one, you should be able to see the save file time, and I mean, unless you think I'm lying by, you know, doing some save manipulation, which would be more work on me, then yeah, I haven't really done anything else. So, but yeah, in the meanwhile, Stardew Valley, the end goal of the whole guide is to get as much money as possible, as this is a catfish here, right? This sure looks like a cat. This feels like a catfish. It's definitely not a smallmouth bass, but yeah, catfish. Move on. But it's to get as much money as possible, because money, turns out, in Stardew Valley, can help you progress a lot more than not. But as I said, bottom of the mines, a lot of gold, and then using that gold to do upgrades or do things to progress, like buying a bunch of seeds to get more money, or just buying things that, you know, you need to buy. Which may have included, I think I bought strawberry seeds just to go through the motions. I didn't need to, but if you're doing the recommended advice is that if you're trying to sell one of everything and get that achievement, or try to get every achievement in like year 1 or some challenge like that, then you have to somehow buy strawberry. You have to, one, go to the festival, the Flower Dance Festival, I think, if that's what it's called, if I remember correctly, and buy strawberry seeds. Or was it the Egg Festival? I'm going crazy. Anywho, you have to visit the festival where you could otherwise have spent that day fishing or mining, which is not what I did, so. And I think I ended up even not planting the strawberry seeds, but I did it more as a, if nothing else, to add more challenge to myself, which didn't need to. I'm already challenged enough trying to go through the mines without failing to go down before the end of spring. We have about 10 days left, so hopefully, you know, if more catfish would bite, as long as I can catch them, that would be nice. But that's not what's happening here. Otherwise, the suggestions are still out. If you are coming here mainly for Stardew Valley content, please feel free to suggest something. Because I think I showed off me trying to... Oh my goodness, hold on, let me not miss this catfish. Trying to play 2 players as 1 player, and how that works is I literally have 2 setups that I can place nearby. And then I play it on my own, which works out as well as you might expect. Not that well, but... Hey, and I was also just, you know, softly following the guide, but if anything else, it would be more a chill series. It is a bit tricky, though, because the setups I'm working with are, you know, tricky for me to maneuver around, both logistically around me and otherwise. Thank goodness the catfish went down, but if I need to do it, I'll need to do it, and everyone can understand, because, again, there are people around me, so I'm trying not to disrupt their own lives too much, as I'm doing things for this YouTube channel, which, again, is important to me, more on a personal level. But if I want to, you know, get serious about trying to make it work, I mean, YouTube success is relative, I guess. It is one's own opinion, but I would assume most people, the dream is to try and make a living, and that's, you know, that's not always feasible. There's only so many, the numbers only work so much. And I don't mind, obviously no one would mind reaching the success that most people would want, me included, but as it pertains to if that's possible, like whether it's possible or not, or whether one has the ability to do so, well, that is more based on someone's own thing. But there's a degree of luck. I will never deny that. That being said, I guess we can, again, nothing else is happening aside from me fishing here, so we can talk about off-topic things as I'm fishing. If for no other reason, hell, hey, it makes me... I can improve my ability to speak and focus on a game at the same time. But as it pertains to streaming and whatnot, yes, the normal things like you trying to be consistent, trying to, you know, put out quality. You can't... If you think quantity will help, I mean, I'm not you. Oh my goodness, I was trying to go to the treasure chest. I was too late. But also on top of that, are you... I think someone talked about this recently. Whether or not you are entertaining to watch in that respect, whether you make content, whether you're a streamer, whether you're a VTuber, whether you are making real life content, whether you're playing video games, whether you cook, you are showing parts of your profession or hobby, you know, are you interesting in terms of success anyway? And that's one part of it, but I think it's one of the larger parts of it. I would say top 2 things to work on if you want to be a successful streamer, content creator, so on and so forth. Because you are essentially, I think not many people would argue with that we are in the entertainment industry, except unless, of course, there's facets of that. You can be educational, but it also helps to be entertaining while you're educational. Now, I'm not saying that means you always have to make people laugh, but entertaining in the way that you catch people's eye, you catch people's interest, you make people want to come back. And ethically, yes, hopefully it's for a good reason, not that you're trying to lie to people and present a false narrative, present misinformation, because that is, I mean, that would be a no-no pretty much everywhere. But it is another reason that goes into, yeah, trying to be at least on YouTube, and I feel, although it's more ideals than actual practicality. If we're looking at actual practicality, yes. I'm not always going to, you know, you don't always have to put on a business suit before you get ready to record or stream, but you do want to go through the motions. I personally, like, usually before a stream, like to take a shower and whatnot, just to kind of refresh myself. Physically, some people say that helps your lungs, or it helps your, you know, body relax and whatnot. This is a catfish again, by the way, right? Leia, watch me catch this catfish! But, I mean, for me, it's more like a refresher, I guess. I guess it's more psychological than it is physical, and mental, of course. One of the two. I don't know what to call it exactly, but I should be using deluxe bait here. I don't know why I'm not. Trying to make myself up, obviously making my bed. The small things. What is it? I think it's a song, or was it a quote by someone? I think it's actually an American general or something. But they said, starting with the small things in everyday life, especially I think specifically even making your bed is one of the examples. Helps to build a better, well, I think the word was man, but essentially person at this point, being a better person. Whether you are focused on your own beauty or appearances, or you are trying to improve your speaking, your speech level. If we're using Skyrim terms, I don't know I'm trying to focus on the game and speak at the same time. But at this point, you kind of can go down the list of what I'm working on. If you don't know, I'll try to help you through it. It's, yes, your ability to speak, your ability to entertain, whether you're educational, whether you're showing skillful gameplay, which I'm quite lacking in. Showing your ability to memorize things, your memory, or your ability to strategize if you're working with a strategy game, RTSs, shooters, fighters, so on and so forth. I personally think that from weakest to strongest genres, for me it has to be shooters, then strategy, and then I'd have to think about the third. Because if you've been with this channel for a while, and for those who are planning to watch me more into the future, my ability to remember things is not quite high. Followed by my hand-eye coordination, which is also why I don't play shooters. I think I mentioned it before. I don't know if it was during a Stardew video, but I definitely stick with the shotguns. I rely on, even though I say strategy games are one of my weaknesses, strategy happens to... I would rely on my strategy more than my hand-eye coordination. But both of those are probably my weakest skill sets. I don't rely on me to be consistent. Like, I might catch 10 catfish now, but miss 2 later, so... Specifically because someone I watched once made the comment of, because I respect their ability to game, or their gaming skills, and to, you know, do things properly, rooting, shooters, playing through survival horror, whatnot. And they said something along the lines of, I don't understand how people cannot be, essentially how they can't be consistent at something. And I'd like to tell you, to try to explain it to someone who doesn't understand, you are literally not in control of your own body. While you can practice your hand-eye coordination, you can practice things to get muscle memory. There are just times when the mind is willing, but the body is failing. I guess I'm gonna twist that saying around if I'm not getting it right. And that's literally what's happening. I know that I should be doing a thing, but when I move my finger, it doesn't move as fast as I want. I don't move as accurately as I want. Most of the time, it's a matter of... How should I explain? Again, I'm trying to explain to someone who can't... Basically, as a weakling, I'm trying to explain to the strong of why I am experiencing the problems I do. And to admit, I feel a lot of it is not remembering the exact specifics of a movement. Like, with this DPI, how far do I have to move my mouse right to move my crosshairs in the intended direction, if I were to try to work with an analogy. But to be more specific on the issue, without using analogies or metaphors, it would be along the lines of, you know, basically training the movement, because I admit a lot of my movements are more instinctual. I'm not actively aware of how I'm moving my hand, my arm, my fingers. And this makes sense because, well, if I'm playing on a keyboard and mouse, that is mostly what I'm doing. Perhaps it's my sitting posture that's not as great. Perhaps it might be a technical problem, but I'm pretty sure most of it is a me body problem. Also, I need to be eating some of my fish at this point. But it's fine. Let's try not to pass out, by the way, because I do want to make it back. That being said, we're just going to eat a bunch of this green algae at the moment. But that's the best way I can explain it for the skilled players who are trying to understand how, you know, people who can't do it. This is my explanation for at least myself. And I think a lot of it is being aware of your own bodily movements and how they translate to what you want to do in a video game. Which sounds oddly enough. At this point, you know, the casual audience, or casual in terms of, like, they don't play video games as much. So, it would be, looking from the outside, I would assume this looks like someone just trying to explain nonsense, but I promise you it does make sense. And I think there is a kind of awareness about knowledge of what you're doing that does... One is to be applauded, because obviously being able to do that... If that were basically, if I could do everything I want to do, I would have entered, like, a professional gaming scene, or any professional scene that actually can pay life-changing money. That's something else I also heard from another person I kind of respect on YouTube, is that the idea of, yeah, if you really are confident in yourself, why not use the skills that you have to basically do something that would you know, is life-changing for you, especially if you're not in a good position in life. So... And at that point, some people will say, well, I don't feel comfortable with that and whatnot. But the context of this is that, well, you have the skill set to do it. And while personal comfort can be a factor, some people would argue that that's just not an excuse. I understand it myself a bit more, but I am still on the side of, you know, using your skill set for a better cause. So, anywho. And there are different facets to that. I don't want to leave it like that. I'm just trying to think about what I actually want to say in my mind, because at that point, yes. And again, the context of this specific subject is mainly around people who are, I guess, more egotistical, I guess, who have a big opinion of themselves. But in that case, again, it's literally, you know, prove it by challenging yourself in another way. But at that point, like I said, some people might say, oh, well, it's a personal issue. I don't feel comfortable, you know, competing competitively. In my case, I can think of fighting games really easily, so I don't feel comfortable playing fighting games competitively, or, hey, that doesn't transfer at all because I played this game, and how would my skills therefore transfer? I have to learn a whole new game. At that point, though, this kind of sounds like complaining, but I don't know. Maybe some people will think differently, maybe I don't. I know for myself, though, I hold myself to a certain standard. So, again, I am someone of the mind that, okay, if I know I can do something like this, that's kind of why I made my YouTube channel. I'm like, I've kind of noticed, and the easiest example I can think of is, well, my RNG in general, but, the example I'm thinking of is that, yes, my luck isn't the greatest, but if I really think my luck isn't the greatest, why don't I just make this channel, which I did, and show off how unlucky I can be? And as it turns out, yeah, that's kind of true to some extent. I don't know how much true. Obviously, there are people unluckier than I am, but I've always explained my personal luck as something that is, you know, on average, I'm unlucky. But when half of the time when I need to be lucky, I will get really, really, really lucky. And the other half of the time, I'll just get really lucky, but for no reason. So basically, if I have to roll a 1d20, I will roll 8 through 12 less than I do 17s through 20 and 1, 2, 3. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I'll roll more nat 1s and 20s than 10s. I guess that's what I should be saying. And if I ever play a TRPG, I will try to translate that to my character in some way or form, because I just know that's how life plays out. Which I guess leads me into my next thing, as I try to keep an eye out on midnight. I think I can make it back at around 1 a.m. might be pushing it, but to close out this topic, because we are about to hit the end of the video, technically, and literally. Catfish, please! No, catfish! Okay. Well, I mean, it's not over yet, but I almost forgot what I said. Please don't let me forget! Oh, catfish, you made me forget, kind of! Help! Well, anyway, if I do forget, if you want to hear me talk about what I was trying to talk about, go into, remind me somewhere, and I will try to remember it. Usually type it down in, you know, a document, so I can remember to talk about it, but yeah, I know I was talking about RNG in some way. Yeah, now I'm trying I said the 1s, 20s, and 10s. Oh yeah, so I didn't remember, but when I said oh yeah, so I mean that 1, 20s, and 10s, and boy, how that translates to TRPGs. I mean, I made this channel. There's another saying in terms of, you know, the variety gods are watching over you, and I may not have what I was gonna say. So something I was gonna say. So I think to some extent variety gods are watching me, but to talk about what I wanted to talk about is that the theoretical probability, basically mathematics, for those who don't know this term or don't remember, basically theoretical probability works in the way that 50% of the time you'll flip a coin and it'll be heads and tails. However, I would argue, and I think there's some merit, I think someone's talked about it before. I'm not trying to say I invented this. That's not the case. But some people will flip a coin, or just, I guess in the more general sense, a person will flip a coin 200 times in life and will flip heads 150 times just in their life. And so while that's the practical probability, or experimental probability? Can't remember. My goodness. I love and hate math, but that extends to things like TRPGs where, yeah, while it's more like, well, actually, it's actually supposed to be equally likely, but what am I trying to say? If you're rolling 2 dice, 2 1d6s, or 2d6, you are more likely to get the middle numbers than 1 and 12, right? That's just how numbers work. But there will be a subset of people who just keep rolling. If we're going to the extreme, there will be a subset of people who just keep rolling 12s or rolling 1s. just 100% of the time. That's just, again, that I think there's a term for this, and again, I haven't looked it up for some reason to just verify it, but you get, I think at this point you get what I'm saying. While it is more likely to roll the numbers in between, if someone in the world is going to roll the end numbers 100% of the time or more often than the middles. That's what I'm trying to say. Anywho, I need to get back to the farm because I want to sell the fish, but 2, I don't want to oversleep. And we'll get exhausted, but I should be fine here. Ooh, I should do this in the meanwhile. I mean, I can carry all this stuff back. It's just I don't need to carry it all back. So, yeah. Then we have rice shoots. And I have to keep reminding myself that in this Meadowlands farm, Meadowlands farm, there is farming space in the center. For some reason, I only thought the top right near the home was the only farming space, but no. You essentially have extra spaces here. Please don't let there be enough things in my way that I somehow get stuck. But I think everywhere that this grass is growing on, I forgot to check on the chickens, but it's fine. Yeah, I forgot to feed them, didn't I? Well, it's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. There's more farming space than I thought. That's what I'm trying to say. But we'll sell every single fish. I don't even want to sell the baked fish, but I think I'm going to save that for mining instead, question mark? I don't know. I don't know what I should be doing. I think I should be using them for energy, but I also forgot to bring furnaces with me. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll see what happens in the next video. But yes, without further ado, I mean, not really much else to say. If you want me to talk about something, please feel free to give me a notice. I don't need to sleep right now. In fact, I shouldn't be doing anything else. But in the interest of making things interesting, we're going to go to sleep. But yeah, without further ado, if you want to support me, you know what to do. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I know Stardew starting to do Stardew videos played a part in that. That's why I always wanted to come back. But without further ado, yeah, there should be an end screen because I don't edit this series. And yeah, without further ado, when I see you, I'll see you. Yeah, let's go. UI Info Suite 2. But yeah, I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.